Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing.
It's a good day, everyone. Mr. Face here with another AutoCAD video. Alright, so in today's drawing, we'll be focusing on how to do orthographic projection. Right, so as you can see here, I have a camera which is in isometric projection, and I want to draw it in orthographic projection. So before I go into that, I am going to first explain what is orthographic projection. Right, so I'm going to share my screen here. Alright, so orthographic projection. Alright, so what is an orthographic projection? So an orthographic projection is a 2D representation of a 3D object. Right, so in that case, this would have been the 3D object, and here, which is the orthographic, is a 2D projection. Right, so the 2D drawing represents different size of an object. So as here you can see that we have a drawing that represents the top, the front, and the right side. So this is basically this is a one type of orthographic projection, right? So now we're going to look into types of orthographic projection. So there are basically two types of no. So before we go to the types, we're going to look at the different views that can be on a 3D drawing, so isometric drawing. So there are 6 principal views which are created based on how or the direction indicated, right? So based on the direction that you're looking at the drawing from, there you can get 6 views. So if we're looking at this from the front, the right side, that's 1. From the bottom, we have a front view, we have a left view, a top view, and a rear view, right? But in orthographic projection, we mostly focus on the top view, the left side, the right side, and the front view, right? So that leads us now to the type of orthographic projection. So we have 2 types of orthographic projection. We have a first angle projection and we have a third angle projection, right? Look more into the 2 types of orthographic projection. So for the orthographic projection, here I have an isometric drawing, which isometric drawing we normally, as we said before, it's a 3D type of drawing, and we normally draw at 30 degrees. So for me personally, I normally draw at 30 degrees, right? So here now I have a first angle projection of this drawing here and a third angle projection. So for the first angle projection, as we said, the circle is on the right, right? So the circle now would have represent your plan, which is looking at it from the top, and your front elevation, right? And here now, this shape here now, this rhombus here represent the elevation, the side that you're looking from. So this is the end, but we call it the side. So it's a side view, right? So here we can see that we draw, the first thing is the front elevation, which is looking at it from here, and then the plan, which is looking at it from the top, and then the left side, which is here, right? Now, for the third angle projection, we draw, the first thing that we draw is the plan, which is looking at it from the top, and then we draw the front view, right? And the end, which we call the side view, on the right side of the drawing, right? So as we can see here, as I said before, this is a third angle projection, right? So third angle projection this here, because we draw the top first, then the front and the right side, which is here, right? Okay, so that's basically it for orthographic projection. If you want to know more about orthographic projection, you'd have to go and do more research, right? But that's just the basic introduction to orthographic projection in order for you to understand the drawing that I'll be doing. Alright, so now I'm going to move to my AutoCAD software. Alright, so here's my drawing now, which is the camera, right? So as here, you can see that I draw the plan, and then I draw the front view, right? And then I draw the right side. So this is a 3D, this is a third angle projection joint, right? But in this case, this joint, this right side here should have been over on this side based on the notes here, right? So the right side should have been on this side. So it should have been on this side instead of on this side, right? So that can be corrected. So in my next joint now that I'm going to do, I'm going to correct that. All right. So first thing I need to do is that I need to launch a new page, which I already did. So now I'm going to set up my joint environment. So I'm going to type UN, which is the short for unit. I press enter. So UN, short for unit, I press enter. Right, I set my position to 0 and check that this is millimeters, this is international. I press OK. Right, I now set my limit. So LIM, short for limit, press enter. I know that my lower left hand corner is 0, 0, enter, and my upper right hand corner is all depends on the size of the paper. So the size of the paper I'm going to use is 420, 297, and I press enter. Right, after I do that, I'm going to zoom all. So Z for zoom, A for all, enter. You now see that my page move, right? Next thing I need to do is that I need to set my scale before I start drawing. So I'm going to set my scale, and because this is a relatively small join, I'm going to use a scale of 1 to 20. Right? Now I also want to go to my object snap, and I'm going to ensure that I turn on endpoint, midpoint, quadrant, intersection, perpendicular, and tangent. So all of those are already on, right? Alright, so also now, if I should go back to my drawing here, right, so what I'm going to do, instead of me going back and forth, I'm going to just copy all of these joins. So in order to copy this join, I'm going to select an area outside of the join, and then I'm going to move over the join. I'm going to Control C, which is for copy, and I can come here. Alright, so my object is placed, so I'm going to place it here. So I see that my object is placed. Right? It is not placed with the units of measurement, but that can be adjusted at a later date. But we all know that the units of measurement is millimeters, right? So now, before I start drawing, also I need to create some layers. So I'm going to go to layer properties here, right? I'm going to create some layers. So here I already have a 0 layer. I already have a dim, which is for dimension, and I'm now going to create a construction layer. So CON for construction. I'm going to use a color, bright color, so I'm going to use green. I select OK. I go back to my layer. I'm now going to change the line type. So I want this line type to be hidden line, so I'm going to load, and I'm going to look for hidden. Right, so I select hidden. Right, so I'm going to use hidden type, hidden 2, so which is times 5, because I'm going to need another type of hidden line. So I'm going to select OK here. I then select hidden here. I select OK. Right, so that's for construction. I also need a layer now for, let me go back to this joint. So for construction, I need a layer for center and hidden lines, which are these lines here. These are hidden lines. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my drawing. So I go back to layer, and I select a new layer here, and this one is for center. So center, and I'm going to choose my color, my center now to be purple. Okay, I'm going to load the center, the type of line, so I need to load to get it to center. So it's a center line. I select OK, and I come here and I select center here and I select OK. I'm going to go back to the layer again. I need one more layer, which is for hidden. So for hidden, I'm going to change the color here now to blue. Okay, and I'm going to change the line type. So I'm going to load, and I'm going to select the first hidden this time around. So I'm going to select this one. Okay. When I come here, I ensure that I select that one that I've selected there, and I select OK. Right. So now we have our layers. Right. So now we can actually begin to draw. So what I'm doing here, based on the view that I'm looking at it from, I'm looking from the front. So the front view, I'm able to see the front view, I'm able to see the right side, and I'm able to see the plan, which is the top. So I'm going to use a third angle projection. Me, I'm going to start with my front elevation, because my front elevation, once I get my front elevation, for me, I'll be able to move quickly. Alright, so I'm going to start with the front view first. So for the front view now, I am seeing, I'm going to zoom up, I am seeing the lens here, this rectangle here. I'm able to see the flash, the button here, and also this button over here, right? But looking at it from the front, I won't be able to see a direct circle, right? So I'll be seeing a part of the circle. So I'm going to show you how to get that. So now I am going to start drawing. So I need to turn on my zero layer. So my zero layer is already on. If I should come to, right, it's already on. So zero layer, right? So I'm going to select a line type now, right? Select a line. So select a line from here. Select a line from here, right? And I know that here it is 100 millimeters, right? So in order to draw in orthographic, I am going to, all right, so isodraft doesn't need to be on. So isodraft is off, so good, right? So I'm going to select my first point. So say I select here, and I'm going to turn on auto because I want to draw a straight line. So I'm going to draw this line at a distance of 100 millimeters. Enter. I then go up by 60. How did I get 60? Because from here to here is 50, and then from here to here is 10. So I go up. I'm actually going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go up by 50 first, enter, and then I go up by 10, enter, right? I go across here 100 millimeters, enter. I go down 10, enter. I then close here, so I can type 50 and enter, right? Spacebar to get rid of the command, right? So now spacebar, I'm going to draw this line now. So spacebar to get back the command, and I'm going to come here. That's why I go 50 and then 10 and here, right? So that's this line here now. Now I need to know the center of my circle here. Center of my circle here, right? So the center of my circle now, in order to find the center of the circle, I'm going to use a line command again, and I'm going to go midpoint to midpoint. And that's the center of my circle here. The center of the rectangle here. So I need to know the center of the rectangle first, right? So now I want to draw a circle of radius 25. So I'm going to select circle here in the draw command, and I'm going to select center radius, right? So I'm going to select my midpoint, which is my center, and then I'm going to type 25, enter, right? So that's my circle here, right? So now I can trim unwanted lines, right? So I can actually now trim unwanted lines. Oh, now I need a center line. I need a line to identify the center of the circle here. So I need to change my layer for a minute. So I'm going to select center. I'm going to turn on center layer. Go back to my drawing. I type L, enter, get back the line command, and I need a line to go through my center here, right? escape, and I can extend this here a bit so the center line can show properly. Alright, so now it's not showing, but I'm going to fix that. So now I can select this line, escape. I can select this line now, and I'm going to change it to a center line as well. So I'm going to select the center layer. Right? So okay. So in order now to get these lines to show up in my drawing, I'm going to select both lines, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to properties, and I'm going to change here the line weight here to 30. I press enter. Right? I come back to my drawing, escape. Alright, so this one did not change, so I'm going to go back again to the property, and this is 30, it's not showing. I'm going to change this one to center again. Alright, it's not showing, so what I can do now is that I can type line type scale, so L for line, T for type, and S for scale. I press enter, and I'm going to change my line type scale here to 0.0005, and I press enter. Right, so I now see that my lines are showing as center lines. Right, so now I have the lens here, I have my rectangle here. Now I need this button here, the lens here, and also this button here. So I'm going to draw the lens first. So the lens now, as you can see, it is saying that from here to here it is 35. So to the start of the lens is 35, and then it is going 30. So if I should divide this lens by 2, which is 15, I'm going to get 50. So therefore, if I come here, that's the center of my rectangle, which should be 50. So we can go to utilities and we select measure. And if I measure from here to here, I should get 50, right? So I don't need any more information. So I'm going to select a line command now. And the height of this, okay, so I ensure I turn on my zero layer. So I turn on my zero layer again. So I double click here, turn on my zero layer, escape. So select a line command. I come here at the end point, and I'm going to go up on a height of 10. Enter. Right? I can now go here 15 because it is half. So we're halfway. So I go 15 here. Enter. Then I come down 10. Enter. Spacebar to get rid of the command. Right? Spacebar to get rid of the command. I come here. I go on this direction, on this side, 15 as well. Enter. I come down 10. Enter. Spacebar to get rid of the command. Right? So this is now my flash here. Right? Because if I'm looking at it from the front, I'm not able to see this angle clearly, right? I'm going to be able to see here. So I'm going to see like a straight line here. So this is why I draw my flash like this here, right? So now this is my flash. So now I need I can draw this button here, which is that it's a 10, it's a square of 10, right? And it is 15 from there. So it is at a level of 5 down, so it is 5 from here, right? So if, for example, we know that, and it's a height of 5, right? So what I can do now is I can select a line command. I go here, I draw a line of 5 millimeters, press enter, right? Spacebar to get rid of the command. So this is 5. I'm going to zoom up, and then I zoom out to show you. So I'm going to select offset now. I'm going to offset this line. No, so first I'm going to copy this line, or I can offset. So I'm going to offset this line twice. So no, so select offset. I select the offset distance. How far do I want to offset it? It's 5. So I press enter, then I select the line and I move in the direction I want to go, right? So that is offset, right? Now I can also select this line and offset it 5 as well. Alright, no, so escape. So I go back to offset and I'm going to offset it 10 because remember that's square of 10. So I'm going to offset this line now at a distance of 10, right? Escape. I can now delete this line, so I'm going to select this line and erase, right? So now I need to select back the line command. I join the endpoint to endpoint, spacebar to get rid of the command. So this is now my button, which is right here. Alright, so we have our button here, we have our lens, we have our flash. So we need this button here now on this side. So what we can do now to achieve that, we can go back again. We're going to spacebar to get back the line command. We're going to draw a line here of 5. So okay, so we're going in the wrong direction, so we need to go up. So we go 5, enter, right? And we now escape. So we're going to offset this line first, or move this line. So we can move this line now, right? So specify the point where we want to move it from, and we want to move it in this direction. So we move in this direction and we type 15, enter. Because it said here the radius of the distance of the circle is 15, right? So it is 15 from here, so we go 15. So this should have been the center, right? So now we know now that the radius is 10, so therefore the diameter would have been 20. So what we can do now is that we can offset this line on both sides 10. So I select offset, I select this, the distance, which is 10, enter, and then I select this line here. I move on this direction, and I select this line, I move this direction, right? I can escape, I type L, which is for line, and enter. I then join here to here and escape, right? So what we now need to know that this is this should have been a circle, so we need to show the center line here. So I'm going to change this line here to a center line, right? And I select OK. So escape. Now we see that it is showing at a center line, right? But it's not showing as large as this because this line is a short line, right? So I can zoom in now. So we now have our front view. So we have the lens here, we have the button here, we have the flash here, we have this button here, which is here, right? So because we're using the third angle projection now, it says that the plan, which is the top view, should be on top of the front elevation, and the right side should be on this side, on the right of the front elevation. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, so I come back to my join here. So now what I need to do now, I need to bring the lines from specific points, right? So I'm going to bring all of my lines from specific points. So I'm going to bring my lines from all of the points. So from here, from here, from here, and so on, and so forth. So I'm going to turn on construction layer now. So construction, I come here, I select a line command, and as I said before, I'm going to bring this down a bit, and now I'm going to bring lines from all of the points. So I go up, I'm going to zoom in a bit, so I go up, I spacebar to get rid of the command, I come back, I come here, I spacebar, get back the command, go up again, spacebar, spacebar here, I bring this up as well, and I bring from this circle up, so I set the quadrant of the circle and spacebar to get the command from here, up, from the center here, up, from here up, from here up, right? So what I would have seen, okay, so alright, no, so this line is incorrect. So it should have actually be spacebar from here. So it would have passed directly here. Yes, that's the right line. Alright, so I'm going to draw all of the lines. I'm going to bring all of my lines up, then I delete that line, the arrow line. Alright, so from here now, from the center here, up, spacebar, spacebar. So from here, up, and then my last line will have been from here, up. Right? So I'm not going to delete this line yet because I don't want to get rid of the line command. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring these line now across. So I need to bring from here. So I'm going to spacebar, get back the line command. From here, go across, spacebar. From here, go across, spacebar. From here, go across, spacebar. Alright, so spacebar. From here, go across, and from here, go across, spacebar again. Oh, so before I go here, I need the height of the circle. So I need spacebar. I need from here across, and I need from the center. So from the center there across. Alright, so spacebar, get back the command. From the center, select there across, and the next end of the circle. So from here across, spacebar, and from here across, spacebar. Get rid of the line command. Alright, so as I said before, I need to delete this line because this line was drawn as an error. So this line, alright, so delete. Alright, so it should have been here. So once I go from here, it is going to touch here. Alright, so now we're going to draw our plan, alright, which is looking from the top. So I'm going to zoom up a bit. Alright, so that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to now change my layer again, and I'm going to go back to my zero layer. So I'm going to come here, turn on my zero layer now. Alright, so now I am going to need a line going across here. So I can just select the line command, and I can just go from the midpoint here, and I go across to here, and I enter. Right, so this is the plan, and we know that the plan now it is 30 millimeters. So because from here to the center of this is 15, and from here to here is 15. So what we can do now is that we can just offset this line down 15. So offset, we select the distance of 30, sorry, 30, and we press enter. We move this line in the direction. Okay, so it went in the wrong direction, so we're going to come in this direction. So it's not this line. So we're going to delete this one. Escape, then you select this line and delete. Alright, so this is the top. Right, so we know that the length is 100. So because we already have 100 here, we can also just go back to the line command, go from here to here, spacebar, spacebar, and from here to here. Right, so that's the frame. So that's from here to here and here and back here. Right, so now we're looking from the top. We need our first thing we need now, we need also here, we need our lens, we need this button, and we need this button as well. Right, so we're just going to go for the center here. So first thing we can draw is our circle, because this would have been a circle. You're seeing one circle from here. So we can come here, we track the center of this line goes up. Right, we're going to now select a circle. Right, and we see that it is this center, so we need to come here. Alright, so we did not want to go there. Alright, so we select the circle, center radius, we come here. Alright, we're going to draw it from here first because we're not able to get a midpoint here. So we're going to select the midpoint from here, and we're going to type a radius of 10. Enter. Right? So now what we can do is that we can move the circle. So we select move, select the circle, and press enter. We go from this midpoint or the center of the circle, and we track this to this line, which is the center here, and we select there. So we see now that they are on the same center. They are on the same path, right? Good. So that's our circle here. For here now, we already know that this is 5 from here, and so it need a midpoint. Actually, it need a midpoint. So what we need to do then is that we can draw a center line here. So I'm going to select center. Okay. Alright, it's not turning on from there, so I'm going to come here, double click there, go back here. Alright. I can now select a line command. I go here, and then I go across to this midpoint here, and that's now my center, which is here, this line coming straight across here, right? So now I know that I need a rectangle here. So what I can do now is the rectangle should be 10 by 10, right? So what I can do is that I can copy this line. So I'm going to copy this line here. I select line, I press enter, and I'm going to move it in the direction I want it to go. Right, so I can put it at the center line first, and I escape, right? So because we know that this is the center here, we're going to now move this line 5 or offset it 5 twice. So we can offset it, so the offset distance of 5, press enter, and we want to offset this line on that end and on that side, right? Escape to get rid of the line. We can now delete this line here. Now we can select the line command again, and we're going to join this rectangle here, so from there to there. Alright, so I'm using the wrong layer, so I'm going to delete this line. I'm going to change the layer. Alright, so I didn't need to go there, so I'm going to change the layer now to the 0 layer once more. I come back here, I select a line command, I join from here to here, spacebar to get rid of the command, spacebar to get the command, and from here to here. Alright, so that's my square button here, which is this here. Right? Now, what else do I need? I need my flash now. Right? So my flash now, when I'm looking at the flash from the top, I'm only going to be able to see this rectangle here, and I'm not going to exactly see here as a line going at an angle. I'm going to see it as a rectangle too. Alright? So what I'm going to actually do now is that I know that from here to here is 20, so we can actually measure. Alright, so I come here, I select there to there, and it is 20, right? So I can escape, and I can now offset this line or copy this line. So copy this line, so select copy. Alright, so before I copy that line, I'm going to join this line to make it one line. So I'm going to select both lines, then I type J, enter, and I'm going to go to the copy command in the modify, select copy. I select this line, I press enter, and I go where I want to move it from. I'm going to move it to the center. I'm going to move it to the center, right? And then I press escape, right? So from the center now, I want to take this line down 5 because we already know that it is from here to here is 15, so I'm going to take this line down 5, so I'm going to instead, so offset, and the distance is 5, so I just select this line, and I select there, and that's it. Alright, so we can measure now. If we want to be sure, we can measure again to ensure that from here to here is 10, and it is 10, so escape. So I can delete this line now, right? And now I can go back to the line command again, and I'm going to just show the full length now. So there, and I space bar with the line command, so I draw from here to here. Alright, so because we don't need a center line all the way over here, right, what I can actually do is that I'm going to select the line, right click, go to properties. I'm going to change this to 30 to show it as a center line for the circle, right? And I'm going to escape, so it's now a center line. So it's just to show that this is a circle here, right? And I actually need now a center line here as well. So I'm going to go back now to my layer. I'm going to turn on my center layer. So double click right there. I select align command, and I'm going to draw my center line. So from here to there, anywhere outside of the circle. So space bar, right? So I need to do the same thing in order to show it as a center line. So I'm going to go to properties over here because I already have properties up, and I'm going to change this now to 30. Enter. I escape, and I'm now seeing that it is shown as a center line. That's it for the plan, the top view. So as I can see, as I said before, this is our flash, our button here. This is our flash here, right? And this is our button here, right? So these lines are actually going at 45 degrees, but if we get this line here, then we're not going to get the correct measurement. If we put these lines in, it's not going to show the correct measurement, right? Because it's at an eye, so that's why we have to leave it like this, right? Because as we said, from here to here is 20, 30. So space bar, escape. So space bar, give out the measurement command, and we want to measure distance. If I should come here to here, we see that it is 30 as well, right? So if we should draw these lines in, it's not going to show the true measurement. So we have to leave it like this, right? All right. So now we draw our front, we draw our plan, which is our top view. So we need to draw our side view, right? So for the side view now, I'm going to zoom a bit. For the side view, we are looking from the right side, and it should be at the right of the drawing. So I don't need that, right? So we're going to draw all of this here. We need to show this here. We show this here. We need to show this as well, and we need to show this part of the camera, which is the lens, right? So we're going to go about doing that now. So what we can do, all right, so the zero layer, double click right here, and the zero layer is now on, right? So I'm going to select align command, and I'm to go into the midpoint here, and I go all the way here, space bar, right? So what I can actually do now is that I can offset this line at a distance of 30. So I'm going to offset this line, select the offset distance, enter, and select this line and move in this direction, offset, right? So that is the side view here, right? Now I can escape. I'm going to go now to line command, I'm going to connect here. So I'm going to zoom up to here, spacebar, and I need this distance. I'm going to connect here to here, escape, spacebar, give it the command, and I'm going to connect here to here, right? So that is the base here, and that is, oh, so we need here, which is this line. We need to connect one here, so we're going to spacebar again to give it the command here to here, right? So this line, we need, this is this line, which is this, and also we need a line here which to show the 5 right here. So spacebar, so from here to here, escape. Alright. Alright, so now we're going to show our lens. So we're looking at it from this side. So the first thing we're seeing is here, and then we'd have seen this inside. So if we're looking at it from this side, so it means that the lens need to be on this side. No, because if we're looking at it from it like this, so this will have been the front. So we're looking at it from this. So the lens should have been on this side here, right? Because we are seeing this first before we see the lens. All right. So we're going to draw the lens now. So we know that the height, the diameter of the lens is 25. It is 50 because the radius is 25. So we're going to draw the lens at a height of 50 and a width of 20. Right? So what we can do is actually we can offset this line now 20, right? So we're going to offset this line 20. So offset and type the distance 20, enter. We select this line and we move in the direction we want to go, enter, right? So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to change all of these lines to hidden lines. They're not showing as hidden lines. All right, 1 minute. So we can be able to track our drawing better. All right, so I'm going to go to properties now over here already, and I'm going to type 30 here because these should be hidden lines, right? So enter and escape. All right, so now they are showing as hidden lines, right? So we can track our lines better. All right, so now we need to know the height of the circle, which is the length, which is right here. So we need a line, so we need to go to line command. We're going to track this line, come over, so it's here. So from here to here, spacebar, get rid of the command, and track this line from here, come all the way over, spacebar, get the command to here. Alright, so that's the lens here. So we need to trim all the unwanted lines. So we can select trim and we press enter and we trim from here, here, and we can't trim that, so we're going to delete. So we trim here as well, escape, and then we just select this line and we delete. Alright, so that's the lens. So remember now we're looking at it from, go to zoom on this side, so we're going to see whatever is here first before we see here. So we have to show it in that fashion. So we're looking from this side, so we're seeing the lens over here. Alright, so that's the lens now. So now we need to show this part of the flash, and we need to get the flash and this circle as well, and also this over here is going to be shown as hidden details because you can't really see it, but you need to indicate that it's there. Alright, so now we are going to show the flash of the camera. So we're going to show this part and this part here, the top here. So we're going to show here and all of here. So we're going to move back to our drawing now, right? And the flash should have been showing on this side, right? On this side here, yeah. So what we're going to do is that we're going to offset this line 10, because remember here it is 10 and then 20 because the length is 30, right? So we're going to offset this line now 10. Okay, so we're going to offset. We're going to type the distance 10, enter, select the line, which is this line, and we're going to move 10 this direction, escape, right? So now we know the flash is from here, which is the 60 line. So we need to track this line, come all the way over. We're going to select a line command, and we're going to turn off auto, and we're turning on polar tracking. So we are going to connect from here to here, and it's an angle of 45 degrees. So we press enter. And we're going to trim all the unwanted portions. So we're going to select trim and press enter. Trim here, trim here, trim. I can't trim there, so we're going to leave there for right now. Trim there. We can't trim there as well, so trim here. So escape, we're going to delete. So select both lines and we're going to delete. Right, so actually we need about this line here. So we're going to draw about this line that we trimmed accidentally. So we're going to draw about this line and escape. Alright, so as you can see, this is the lens here, and there's a little space here between the lens and the flash, which is right here. Alright, so now we need to show, we can see this button here, so we need to show that button as well. Right, so what we're going to do is that we're going to use a line command, and we're going to this midpoint because it should be the center of this circle, and we're going to use, alright, so we're going to use this midpoint. Alright, so it should be 15 on both sides, so we're going to measure to ensure that it is 15. So from here to here should be 15. Alright, so that's why it wasn't working. Alright, now so what we can do now, hit this line, right, we're going to delete this line, delete this line, right? So we know now that the center of this line should be 15. So 15 on, alright, 15. Alright, good. Escape, right? So now we want to identify the flash here, right? So what we can do now is that we can go to the zero layer. Alright, now we can go select a line command. We can come here and we're going to draw a line up of 5. Enter. Right? Escape. Right? So now we're going to offset this line 10 on either side. So we're going to select offset here. Press enter because it's already 10. We're going to select the line. We're going to move on this side 10 and move on this side 10 as well. Escape to get rid of the command. We're going to delete this line because we don't need that line anymore. Right? And actually we need to select the line command, and we're going to draw from here to here. Spacebar, get rid of the command. Right? So this line now, because it's a circle, we need to show it as a center line. So we're going to change this line to a center line. Select OK. Escape, get rid of the line command. Alright, so it's showing as a center line, as you can see here. So it's a center line. Alright. So now we need to now identify, so zoom up, we need to identify this here, but as we said, we're going to show it as hidden line. So it is the center and it is 5 on either side. Alright, so we're going to go here and we're going to show that here. Right, so now we're going to go to the layer and we're going to select hidden, So we're going to turn on the hidden because we need this to draw the button, the square button, alright? And it's of an height of 5 as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to select offset, and we're going to select this line here. No, so escape. So we're going to select offset. We're going to type a distance of 5, press enter, and we're going to select this object here. We move it here, and we move it here, right? Now we're going to select both lines. So we're going to select escape. We're going to select both lines, right? And now we're going to change it to hidden lines, right? So blue, okay, escape. So it is not showing as a hidden line, so we need to select both lines, right? So we're going to zoom up on this here, and we're going to right click, properties. We're going to change the line property to 30, enter, right? Alright, so it's not showing, so go back here, select hidden, okay, right? So it's a short line, so it's going to show twice. So if we zoom down, we see that it's an hidden line, right? Right? Alright, good. So now, alright. Alright, so it was this line should not have been here. So delete this line, so should have been this line here. No, so it was the wrong line. So escape. So at first I selected the wrong line. So it should have been this line here that I selected. So select this line, and this line should have been the hidden line. Alright, so I need to select this line, go to properties, go to increase it to 30, enter. Go back here, select here, go back to here, select hidden, and it's now showing. Alright, so okay. Alright, so this is this. So what I'm going to show you now is that I'm going to actually bring this drawing a bit closer in. So I'm going to, so we don't have to zoom so much. Alright, no. So what I can do is that in order to move the drawing, I can turn off the construction layer for a while. I'm going to select here now, select in the join area, select this join. I want to move it closer to here. So I just select there and I move. So I'm going to move it 60, enter. Right, so I now go back here, I turn on my layer again, and everything is okay. Alright, so the reason why I do that is because we want to be able to see everything. Alright, so here, so I need to get back these layers. So I'm going to select here and here. I'm going to select hidden. Alright, so those should be hidden. Alright, so it's showing as hidden now, right? So what I want you to actually understand is that when you're looking at the side view, the right side, we can see this here, we can see this here, we can see this here, but we know that this should be here, so we have to show it. But we can't see it, that's why we show it in hidden line. So that's what is here. This is the square button, right? This here now is a circle on the top. Actually need to do is trim this part of the button because it should not be joining. So trim, enter, and we're going to trim there, escape. So it's more looking like a button now, right? So as you can see here, this is the button here, right? We need a center line, so we need to change this now to center to show that it's an arc, it's a circle. Alright, so it's a center line. So we have to zoom. Alright, so we are not able to see it as a center line. So what we can do is that we can select the line, right click, go to properties, and we're going to increase the line width to 30, enter. Alright, so we go back here, we select center, okay, and it should be, hold on, so it's not showing at the center line. Alright, so because it's a small line, that's why it's not showing the center line. Alright, so we have to increase the line scale again. What is a center line? Because we all know that the purple line represents center line. Right, here. Alright, so that's how we draw the orthographic view of a camera. Alright, so I can turn off my layer now in order for you to see it close up, so we see the drawing. Alright, so here we're seeing this represents the front view, which is here. This represents the side view, which is here. This represents the top view or the plan, which is here. Alright, so I'm going to turn on my layer now. So thank you for watching.